Hello, and welcome back to Eat a God. Today we're gonna do the Nulla route. Very excited to see how this plays out. So yeah, let's just go. Okay, so here's where we left off originally from the first playthrough, where we meet Septem and Unum. Oh, I also noticed, look at Septem's fingers. He has the same thing that we had in the first playthrough as well, where the fingers are starting to black out. I think this time, I'm kind of curious if we don't do this, if we somehow get like a better playthrough, if we just follow what the game's instructions were originally, because I did this, I got that playthrough with Unum. That interesting playthrough with Unum where he was aware that we were the player, not part of this garden. So I'm gonna try and kind of follow the game's instructions and try to like blend in. Let me just see what happens. Introduce yourself. You suppose these must be the symbols that Nulla and Fames have been talking about. In a way, it's difficult for you to imagine that they could take the life of a worker since they look rather friendly. So not to tempt fate by making them wait, you decide to present yourself. My name is Soggy. I'll be assisting you today. The redhead glances at the blonde with a toothy smile, but the blonde only looks at you. In a certain way, it makes you feel nervous in your stomach. Hey, Septem. This is not a worker. Could it be Mother's gift? It's similar to the previous one, but better. The eyes. It's the eyes they have, and the smell they emanate. Wow, it looks like Mother is making them similar to humans now. Indeed. You don't know how to answer that, so you decide to look beyond the table, and you realize that Nulla is watching you with an intense gaze. Can I be the first to use them? You must wait for the others. They said they'd be late because Kanique was throwing a tantrum. We have to wait at least an hour. There was an awkward silence before the blonde breaks it. Between you and Kanique, I don't know who's worse. The redhead narrows his eyes, looking at the blonde with anger, but doesn't say or refute anything. Instead, he chooses to look at you, and crossing his arms, he says, "We can make the most of our time and start so that when the others arrive, we'll already be ready. Besides, I never get the essence, only the trashy parts. What would I gain if we started earlier? You always complain if they break it too quickly. Besides, the time you take when it's your turn is eternal. Kator said it's because you like to talk to the gift before devouring its essence. You're very strange. That's none of your business. You wouldn't understand anyway." Okay, so this seems similar to the first playthrough. Like, even if we don't say that we are the player, it seems that they both figured it out anyways, no matter what. So I guess both options lead to the same road here. I know. How about we make the most of our time and do that thing you do with the gift? Talk to the gift. We would have to seal the table. Call Nulla to do it. Nulla. In a blink of an eye, Nulla materializes next to you with his gaze fixed on the blonde. His Holiness, Septem. The tone used by Nulla to the blonde, Septem, was a totally surely one, as if he had an aversion just to naming the blonde's title. Need something. I want you to seal the table for a while. Hey, but I didn't want you listening in to what I talk about with the gift. I want privacy. And what do you propose? You can let the gift choose and summon. Oh yeah, I forgot. I was doing a voice for Nulla. You can let the gift choose and summon one of your names. You assume they're talking about you. You look directly into Nulla's eyes and feel how he stares at you, implicitly commanding you not to refuse. Oh, you've never done this before. Sounds interesting. Well, who do you choose? Okay, so let me save here. Oh gosh, I have so many Unum saves. I might have to go over some in the past here. Okay. So this time we're gonna do Nulla. You try to say his name, but it's physically impossible for you. You look at Nulla, who, perhaps realizing what you're trying to do, proceeds to move his hand, making strange signs. Come on, try again. You can clearly hear Nulla's voice in your head, so you try saying his name again. By saying his name, you see how Septem's face twists into a strange grimace. Nulla, on the other hand, smiles. You try to say his name, but it's physically impossible for you, so you point him out with your finger. Nulla looks unsettled by your choice, but he quickly prepares a response. Oops, sorry, I didn't have permission to do that. Oh! Wait, how do we get a Nulla route? There must have been a way. Hold on. I'm gonna save here, I guess. And then I'm gonna return. I'm gonna load. Okay, so I think let's go back here. Ask them to leave. You can't let these people sit at the table that's already reserved for symbols. You look at them again, and they are definitely not the 5 diners that Fame's described. Steeling yourself, you clear your throat before speaking to make your request. I kindly ask you to leave this table. It's reserved for special people. The redhead looks at you strangely, as if he didn't expect that response from you. Do you have vision problems? The redhead asks you while glancing over at the blonde. It must be the surprise that Nulla told us about. The blonde's voice resonates both around you and inside your head. A chill runs through your body. Ah, it's Mother's new gift. It's now that you realize that these must be some of the symbols. You don't know how to answer that, so you decide to look beyond the table, and you realize that Nulla is watching you with intense gaze. Okay. So it no matter what you choose here, it doesn't matter. So maybe we have to do Septem first, and then we're able to do Nulla? But I don't understand. Hold on. Okay, so maybe there's still routes we can take. I'm just trying to do Nulla first because I hate Septem already. Because I went through the Unum route, and I know how Septem is. He has like a weird plan here, and I'm very curious as what his main goal is. But I think we have to choose him anyway, so yeah, we're doing Septem. Well, you've done well. Now comes the hard part. If you want to survive by the time the meeting begins, you must manage to be taken as an apprentice. Otherwise, your puppet's body will be devoured. Okay. Nulla, can you seal the table now? In a matter of seconds, you stop seeing the redheaded Nulla, leaving only Septem at the table with you. A few seconds of silence pass. You suppose you should be the one to take the initiative to start a conversation. If not, you fear that he will get bored and eat you. You can't bear standing still like an idiot under the critical gaze of Septem, which is a little scary. You should think a little before making a decision. Okay. Escape? Okay, let me choose the bad option first. Escape. You're not going to lick this clown's boots. You have standards, darling, so that Septem guy can stick his judgmental gaze up his ass. You're not here to be his personal clown, period. I'm sorry, but I'm not into playing anyone's games. Having said that, you prepare to run to where the stairs are located. Surely there's an exit nearby. When you try to run, you realize something's wrong. You're not moving forward. It's like you're running on an invisible treadmill. Where do you think you're going? You're the first gift that dares to escape from me. If you were with Unum, he would surely be impressed. He would even congratulate you. But it's a shame you didn't choose him. Boo-hoo. The only rule here is to respect your superiors, and you have the audacity to disrespect me. You should thank me for even giving you my time and showing my presence to you. Worm. I have no choice but to punish this offense. I'm sure the others will understand. To your horror, Septem begins to approach, close but without invading your personal space. Unable to run or advance further, you can only expect the worst. You are the worst gift so far. I had faith that you would be different, but not in this sense. Septem grabs you by the collar and lifts you to his level. You try to free yourself, but it's in vain. You feel your chest being torn apart, a hand searching through your organs for something specific. By the time you find it, you're already losing your sight. Oh, nice. Okay. Bad end. Devoured by the 7th. Okay. Sit in the chair without his permission. Under the surprised look of Septem, you decide to sit down as if the place belonged to you. Surely he didn't expect that. You're always 2 steps ahead. Who gave you permission to sit? You're beginning to believe that it wasn't a very good idea. The only rule here is to respect your superiors. Near that. Oh my gosh, again. Same thing. Okay. Wow, this guy loves devouring me. Okay, so we have to wait until he speaks. You don't want to risk moving a muscle, nor breathing, nor speaking. Something in his gaze tells you that you should be careful. Now it seems like a staring contest because of how intense Septem's eyes are on you. First one to blink loses. 30 seconds pass effortlessly without either of you blinking, and you're already at your limit. Shit. If you keep this up, you're going to lose. And mama don't make no losers. 20 more seconds pass. You know because you're counting them, and yet Septem doesn't blink or say anything. What a shame. You accept your defeat, blinking urgently, which causes Septem to laugh. You can sit now. Cautiously, you take a seat in front of Septem, who smiles at you, pleased that you complied without much protest. When you settle on the chair, you realize, well, you're not sure what to do or say, or what not to say. So you have 3 options. Oh, okay. Anum likes yapping. This is gonna kill us anyways. So let's wait for him to break the ice. You think it's the safest thing to do, waiting for him to start the conversation. Having seen that Septem has serious control problems, you consider it to be the best option. Though you can't really think of anything to say anyway, so you accept your fate, whatever it may be. I'll get straight to the point. I know a puppet when I see one. You have the same eyes, and I can see that its will tends to override your commands. You don't have complete control. You brace yourself for the worst, that he might gut you or break a bone, but nothing happens. Septem is just watching you. Oh, fear not, Mother does not have access to a sealed place. She won't punish you. Although his words are intended to calm you down, the effect they have on you is quite the opposite. The level of synchronization is not at 100%. You two are not always feeling the same things, and your actions tend to contradict one another. If you had complete control, you could interact with this world however you want. A total immersion. Not limited like the one you're experiencing behind that screen. I'm sure Nulla has already found out, so we must act quickly. I can help you. You will follow my commands if you want to survive. When Nulla removes the seal, don't move. Okay. I mean, we have to accept. You accept in the hope that you can stay alive. You'll do whatever it takes to live. You earn a smile from Septem upon hearing your response. Nulla must be about to remove the seal. You nod your head. Not even 3 seconds pass when you feel a strange pressure on your body. You assume it must be Nulla. Nulla and the redhead materialize right where you saw them last. Nulla standing on the one side of the table, and the redhead sitting next to Septem, as if they've always been there. Septem looks at Nulla with a long face. Noticing this, he speaks faster than usual. I see you didn't like the gift very much. You could give it to me, and I'll tell Mother to exchange it for another one. He sounds anxious. It seems that it's not of the highest quality. I don't think it's the same, so I suppose that others will think so too. Nulla begins to approach you with the intent to take hold of your arm. His gaze doesn't leave your figure. There's no need. It will go with me to my domain. Talk to Mother to bring another gift. I doubt it will take more than 5 minutes. Sorry, but I can't tarnish Mother's name with such a mediocre offering. Nulla grabs your arm tightly and attempts to speak to you. Play along with me, it's not safe. But Septem stops him by striking Nulla from behind. Son of a... Oh! In a blink of an eye, Septem pierces Nulla's chest. I won't let you ruin it. And with disdain, he pushes the black-haired man's body to the side, causing him to fall with a thump. Nulla lies on the ground, coughing up blood. I said I'll take it with me. Unum urgently gets up from the table, but decides not to approach them. Wow, Septem, we are in public. If anyone were to see you... Shut your mouth. Nulla, you can tell the others I'll be busy. The terror you feel freezes you into place. It seems accepting Septem's offer wasn't the best idea. But in a way, you thank the gods that Septem's wrath isn't focused on you. Although, you feel a little bad that it hadn't been focused on Nulla. Wait, was there a way? Hold on. Let me save here, and then we load this. Okay, if we decline, what happens here? You feel a pressure on your body and you assume it's Nulla. Suddenly, they appear in the positions they were before. Nulla is standing on one side of the table and the others are seated. Nulla looks disappointed when asking how it went and quickly understands that they haven't taken you on as an apprentice. He shakes his head slowly as he looks at you. It's not long before the sound of trumpets is heard at the entrance to the dining room. The other symbols have arrived, and everything becomes chaos where time and space mix, preventing you from fully understanding what's happening. But you're sure of one thing, and that is that they are tearing you apart little by little. For some strange reason, you can't help but feel it. You're not allowed to leave this world until the last piece of your body is devoured. Fingers, arms, legs, and feet are torn from your body, then your organs. It hurts, but you can't scream. It burns, but you can't cry. Then your eyes stop seeing, and all you can do is listen and breathe difficultly. Oh, nice! And you hear laughter and conversations that you can't understand. When it's over, the only thing you feel is Nulla touching your shattered soul. You can try again if you want. Bad end devoured by symbols. Okay, so Nulla is trying to help us through this. Very interesting. Okay, so I went back. It's very interesting. Okay, so Nulla is trying to help us be free of Septem. Nulla knows something. That's why I wanted to see more of Nulla, because I feel like he has some info on this world and how it works. Very curious about that. Septem turns around in order to be able to see you face to face, and without explaining anything, he touches your forehead delicately. And your vision blurs. You suddenly stop hearing Nulla's labored breathing and the ambient noise of the dining room. And then give way to total darkness. You wake up to the feeling of falling. Then you realize you're lying on a spacious, warm bed. The first thing your eyes see is a huge window that is located on the side of the bed. You assume it's daytime because of the light coming in, but it's strange that you can't see anything more than the brightness outside the window. Suddenly, what happened comes to mind, and you hurriedly look for any trace of Septem. There's no one in the room with you. Okay. So now, we are here. Investigate the room. You get out of bed difficultly. The room is disgustingly spacious, with an atmosphere that reminds you of a hospital. It does look way too minimal in here. It's kind of freaky. At least Unum's place was like full of color and it was vibrant. This looks like a morgue. All white, with no traces of any other color. Nothing found here evokes any sense of belonging or trace of personality. It's weird. I see you've already woken up. It's time for breakfast. Septem is near the window with his hand behind his back. You have no idea where he came from, and it gives you goosebumps. It seems you take more time than necessary to answer him because Septem grimaces, irritated. Did you hear me? You nod. Okay, let's go. Septem puts his hands together and the place begins to change. The bed and room transform into a dining room with the same color palette. You fall into a chair in front of a table that already has plates and food served atop them. Septem is seated in front of you. The puppet hasn't eaten anything for more than 24 hours. He must eat, otherwise the puppet won't work properly. For some reason, although you can't explain why, it seems like he was speaking from experience. You don't dare do anything since Septem hasn't given you permission to start eating, and you don't want to tempt fate. You can eat. While eating, you realize something strange. Septem no longer has a voice that resonates both in your head and body. That somewhat unstable and at the same time inorganic voice is normal now. You don't think it's a good idea to ask him. It might be disrespectful to talk about that kind of thing. I don't like that we have the puppet interfering in our conversation. But it's essential to be able to connect you to this world. I respect you. Being an entity from a higher plane, you probably have more power than me or Mother combined. It can be very similar to the power of the Creator. Unfortunately, that power cannot be demonstrated right now, since you're only visiting here. You probably forget this world when you cut the bond with me. What was that? A voice slipped into your thoughts. You don't like this. I need time. Oh my gosh. Wait, okay, what's this option? Enough, just do what I say. I've had enough. You'll do what I say. Septem looks at you in amazement. With the information given, you know that you're now in a position where Septem has no power before you. Well, he clearly said that, right? I'm aware that you are a higher being, but I'm not willing to accept this kind of treatment. Least of all from someone who has no real control over me or my actions. I can easily cut your puppet's head off and you won't be able to do a thing because of your limited options under predetermined actions. See you later. Oh! Septem slices off your head. Bad end, measuring your range. That's funny. I need you to explain to me what's happening. I understand that for someone unfamiliar with the garden, it may be difficult to grasp. But what would be the point of knowing everything instantly, I promise, I'll explain everything to you when I know you're what I'm looking for. For now, all you need to know is that we need time to perform the host change and become a perfect being. Oh! You, Soggy, are what I need. But the more time passes, the more independence your puppet will acquire. And we need their permission to make the change. That'll be a problem if you don't know how to control them. Septem is lying. I would never go against you or disobey your commands. I'm here to serve you. Don't believe him. Septem lets out a small laugh as he watches your reaction. You should be more careful. It's already starting to disengage from you. And if that happens, you'll no longer be of use to me. The blonde gets up from the table and examines his hands for a long time. See you at lunch, and in the meantime, you can roam around my domain as you please. Septem leaves the table, taking the now empty plate somewhere else. You assume it must be the kitchen. You wait for Septem to appear again, as you can't believe he would leave you unsupervised and give you a free pass to do whatever you want. But he doesn't appear again. You stand there collecting your thoughts, analyzing everything you've been told and everything that has happened. Septem wants to give you complete control, complete synchronization with this body. But I don't understand what he would be gaining in return. He is not trustworthy. You need Nulla. Do you need Nulla? Oh, okay. Here we go. Save. Yes. I'm right. We need Nulla. Whatever your answer, you don't know if Nulla is still alive or not. So you must remain on your own for now. You spend your time walking through what appears to be a temple. Well, there's a bunch of statues of Septem and paintings with religious allegory. And inside it, you find a bunch of doors. Oh, okay. Investigate the doors. Does this change anything? Okay, let me do this. Investigate the doors. Oh my gosh. Can I go through all the doors, or is choosing one of the 4 going to change the outcome here? I'm very curious. Okay. I wonder if I can go through them all. Go to the front door? You go to the door in front of you. When you open it, you find that it leads to a hallway. You decide to see where it leads you. You walk, and continue walking down the hallway, but you feel like you're not moving forward. Although, if you look back, you can no longer see the door you came through. You continue walking and now paying attention to the walls and decoration of the hallway. It repeats itself after a while. There's no point in continuing. You turn around and go back the way you came. It takes you a little while, but you manage to reach the initial door. Okay. Gosh, this guy lives in the back rooms. Okay. Go to the back door? You go to the door behind, which is guarded by 2 statues with a figure of Septem. You expect the door to be closed, but surprisingly, it's not. What is this? When you open the door, you realize it's darker than it really should be in there. It's not because you're a coward, but you're not going in there. Yeah, this looks bleak. The bleak room. Okay. Door on the left. You go to the door that is to the left of the altar. It's locked. You need a key. Find the key? There must be something to open the door. Okay. Go up to the 2nd floor. You go to the 2nd floor. You search everywhere, but at first glance, there's nothing interesting. In one of the drawers, you find an important-looking document and a key. You slip the key into your pocket, but the documents are written in a language you can't understand. Oh, we can go back to the door on the left. You go to the door that's to the left of the altar. And we have a key. Use the key. Maybe the key you found on the 2nd floor can be used to open this door. When using it, the lock clicks. It's open. Inside, you find a room very similar to the one you woke up in today. The only difference is that there's someone lying there. You approach and find Septem sleeping. What? But I'm confused. Does Septem have a twin? There's no way. Is that Septem? Huh. Realizing your mistake, you try to walk away without making a sound. But Septem opened his eyes before you can do anything. Huh. Who are you? Okay, this is clearly not the person we were speaking to. What? Doesn't he remember you? Septem quickly gets out of bed to place both hands on your mouth. Don't say his name. You try to shake his hands off, but it's useless. We're not in his presence, so please do not summon him. He, seeing that you calm down a little, releases his grip, slowly uncovering your mouth. Where did you find the key? Oh. Who is this? Who is this? Yeah, who are you? Who are you? Wait a moment. He comes closer to look at you carefully. He gazes directly into your eyes, and what he sees seems to take his breath away. It's clear not Septem, there's something different about him. You're also being controlled by a higher being. Pardon? They're using you like a puppet. It can't be. The entity that is not Septem takes a few steps back, dejected by the situation. It's the first time someone is inside the temple. The entity that has Septem's body sits on the bed and motions for you to do the same. He looks nervous. Noticing that he doesn't seem to be a threat, you sit down. Just to know what's going on. It's strange to see Septem's face with that expression. He even seems cute to you. You can't help but stare at his cute face. At this, he seems to get more nervous. A giggle escapes you accidentally. What's so funny? He wants to look imposing, but it doesn't work. If he really was Septem, he wouldn't be hesitating like he is now. What's your name? I need info. I need lore. I need info. Give me this. What's your name? I can't say. What if you write it down? I'm not allowed to do anything that reveals my name. If I do, I will die. Oh, I think I understand now. He wants to have the entity that is controlling you. Sooner or later, he would replace me. Can I ask you a favor? You nod, mostly because you want to know what he'll ask for. He has some documents in the void room. There must be a document of my birth with my name. Please look for it. I will give you freedom if you do. And you can escape from him. Escape from Septem. It sounds like a good offer. Ugh, The entity begins to cough, as if choking. You must go. Without another word, he stands up and pushes you out of the room. You stare at the door for a long time. You knock a few times, but there's no response. Huh. Okay. How do we go in here? How do we get the documents in there? I'm very curious. What happens if we do this? Load. You just met me, and that's the first thing you can think of what to say. You're strange. I think I understand now. Oh, okay. And then it leads to the same thing here. Okay. So I guess we have to wait until lunch. You wait for the hours to pass. You doze off thinking about what happened with Nulla and why Septem knows about you, but you find no answer to either of the two questions. Time passes quickly enough to surprise you with Septem's arrival at the altar. You wait for him to speak so you can talk. It's time for lunch. You're tempted to ask why he put so much emphasis on sharing meal times with you. If he's worrying about you eating, then there's no need to sit down and eat with you. You suspect it'll be like this for your entire stay. Septem teleports you to the dining room again, where the two of you are greeted by the dishes already placed on the table once more. Septem waits for you to start eating before he does. He doesn't seem very willing to have a conversation, but you can't help but think there's something strange about his attitude. His aura is not the same as the one he had inside that room. His behavior is totally different. Here it shows a confident mask, but there, a completely opposite one. Oh. I have so many saves for no reason. Okay. Are we referring to the Septem that we were speaking to in that room, or are we referring to how he was in the morning? Because now I'm confused. I'm confused of what we are talking about. Okay. Why do you have a different attitude now? Oh, what do you mean? You explained to him what happened in the altar room. The more I explained the situation to him, which strangely he doesn't seem to remember, Septem's face turns red and more serious. He seems to be holding in his anger. How did you find it? Okay, we were referring to the room. Oh my gosh. The key always stays with me. Out of nowhere, Septem grabs your wrist and twists it so hard it breaks your bones. The crunch of every bone is horrible and the pain is unbearable, but you can't do anything but cry. For Septem's grip doesn't loosen at anything, not even the hits or scratches you deal him with the other hand. You're like an animal caught in a bear trap. You are so nosy. And then he cuts off my head. Nice. Okay. Okay. Now I'm aware. We were referring to him in the room. Why would that be an option? Oh my gosh. Don't say anything. You don't want to risk your life by asking, so you decide to remain silent for now. Is the person that we're playing as not aware that that's a different person in that room? Septem shows no interest in starting any kind of conversation, so you eat in silence. Septem eats slowly. He seems totally disconnected from the action, as if doing it automatically. Your eyes have been on my face for a long time. Something wrong? Talk about light topics? It's no big deal. It's just that I feel like there's a lot of silence. Does it make you uncomfortable? Don't know. It's not that you don't know, it's just that you don't know what to answer so as to not make him angry or make him feel like it's disrespectful. You're terrified that you won't answer in the way he thinks is right. Yeah, because you'll cut off my head again. Don't worry. You have complete freedom to talk to me however you please. No, we don't. Okay, that's a lie. As long as it's you, Soggy, not the puppet. I'm here to serve you. Okay. Ask questions? Ooh, okay. I gotta click that. Come on. You can't give me that option and not expect me to click this. How do you know about the bond that me and Soggy have? Septem furrows his eyebrows before answering. Me and Soggy. Who is me? Soggy, I will be clear. The next time I see the puppet detaching itself from you, I won't hesitate to break it. I don't need another one with a conscience of its own. I have one with It doesn't matter. Oh, we got the first two letters of the name. R.A. After all, Mother can make another vessel. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Okay. Who is Mother? Septem sighs. Mother is the garden itself. She's in charge of holding everything together, and we are her source of energy. What happened to Nulla? Septem looks at you with a small smile. He's fine. Nothing he can't stand. You pierce his chest. It's nothing serious. Just a little warning. To kill him would take more than just that. A shame. Oh, nice. He wants to kill him, but he can't. Okay. What do you want? Septem looks at you with a serious face. Don't be so anxious. We'll talk about it later. Okay. Stop asking. When finished, Septem takes the plates and disappears after saying you'll meet again at dinner. You're already getting bored with the little interaction you've been having, and nothing interesting has happened so far if you have gone with Unum. Well, you have to pass time somehow. Okay, I'm going to investigate the doors again. Ooh! Okay, hold on. Save. Here. Yeah, it's fine. I oversaved anyways. Okay. So, find something to kill Septem with. Hold on. What do I do first here? Find something to kill Septem with? You look everywhere, and you find a knife. Nice. Oh, we can smash his orb too. Okay, sick. Okay. Search for the documents. You wonder why Septem has documents that could jeopardize his integrity. You assume finding those documents wouldn't be easy, but you've got nothing to lose. You assume the void room is that pitch black room, so you go there. You take a deep breath and open the door. You can't see anything. You enter at a slow pace with great care. You place both hands in front of you to avoid colliding with the wall or any object in front of you. You feel like you bump into something. When you touch it, you realize that's a small table or a desk. You wouldn't know for sure. You try to find something that feels like paper, but there's nothing on it. You search and search, but there is nothing. That is until you feel something like a box. But it isn't open. It seems to have a lock. Can I use the same key? You look in your clothes for the key, praying to the gods that it also works for the box. It's a little difficult for you to put it in the lock, but when you do, click! It has been opened. You reach in and take out a bunch of papers. You take all of them. Oh! Okay. Now we have them. Let's go look for the puppet. You walk directly to the temple to find the door near the altar. You use the key. You open the door and there he is, sleeping. You decide to wake him up. Hello, it's good to see you again. Do you have the documents? Yes. You show him all the papers you've taken from the room. Some you can read, but others you can't. They appear to be documents and birth records from various entities. Almost like classification cards, entities with names and ID type photos. Why does Septem need this? You both look through the documents carefully. As you rifle through document after document, one catches your attention. The photograph of the entity next to you stands out. On one side of the document, his name appears, Raphael. Is that your... He puts both hands on his neck with a pained expression. Yeah. Well, he can't fully respond. He's confirmed it to you. That's his name. As best he can, he signals to you that you should get out of there. You have to say it when he offers you the deal. That's when he's vulnerable. With that, he slams the door in your face. Okay, so we have multiple areas of killing Septem. Okay. So we have the knife that we can use to stab his essence. Awesome. I just hate Septem so much. And then we also have the name Raphael that we can say when he offers us a deal, when he's vulnerable. Okay, now this is something. Now we got something to work with here. Time passes quickly, and this time you witness Septem materialize before the temple altar. By now, if you've gotten used to it, so you don't get startled. It's time for dinner. Are we going to follow this routine every day? Soggy, were you the one who asked that question? Uh-oh. Okay, I might come back to that. Why to cover up the puppet? Yes. The idea is that the puppets can obtain energy to function properly, both mine and yours. Do you have a puppet? Something like that. Septem begins to approach you. His angelic face is an antithesis to the aura he gives off. Back up, buddy. Look, I really want you to understand what's happening and why you are vital to the garden's recovery. And I wouldn't want to omit vital information for your decision-making when the vessel change begins. I will implant my memories into the puppet to make it simple. Septem places his left hand on your forehead. You can skip the information below if you're not interested. I think you have something to do with that. Not once talked about it. The skip button, I think that's its name. Oh, thanks. Yeah, the thing right here. In the beginning, everything was darkness, nothingness itself. When the Creator arrived, there was light. And that was where my existence began. Although having light, it allowed us to see the shadows. It was there that we realized the existence of Nulla. He who had been in this place before my existence and the Creator's arrival in the garden, waiting. Oh. Nulla and the Creator were talking for a time, and I, still a being without knowledge of anything, did not understand them. But I'm sure of one thing, and that is that Nulla seemed to not respect the Creator. He treated them as an equal, raising his voice and even putting up his dirty hands on them. And then the Creator gave me the mission to create the symbols to keep the garden running. So that's what I did. On Monday, I gave life to the sun, but you know him as Unum. Tuesday, it was the firmament and the stars, Dwe. On Wednesday, the earth and the planets were created, Tria. On Thursday, the moon was created. Kator was just as bright as the sun at first. It's a shame the fight Unum started. Before putting order, everything was chaos. If only I could have intervened. Maybe Katora would still have her 4 eyes. By taking away 2 of her eyes, the moon stops shining and now rises when the sun sets. On Friday, all creatures were created and a symbol was set up to represent them. Kinik. Lastly, on Saturday, my dear Septem was born along with humanity. Sunday was a day of rest. I spent all day observing the operation of the garden, but I did not have a physical body to experience everything I had created, and for a long time, I was like that. Until Septem told me about transferring my essence into a human. But to do this, I had to leave my existence behind and start living as a human, so I did. I instantly realized my mistake. When humans were conceived, they are given a soul that is distributed by the garden or mother, making the transfusion result in a mixture of the human soul and the essence of a deity that makes it. So its body is not completely mine. What do you need me for? I no longer have control of the garden. After the Creator vanished, the garden began to wither, and the first sign was the disappearance of the children of Septem, the humans who gave us genuine devotion. In the chaos, Nulla reappeared and filled me in on everything about our world and the Creator. Then he taught me of the existence of other worlds abandoned by the Creator, in a state equal to ours. But the difference is that they had humans, so we embedded ourselves in their culture. And we consumed their devotion directly, every last Sunday of the month. But with you here, it won't be necessary to continue with this. If we unite in transfusion, you will grant me the authority to manipulate the garden for myself. No, at our whim. We can save this world and prevent Nulla from destroying everything. Look, none of the symbols knows the sad truth that we are nothing more than a world that pretends to be organic. All they know is that our world is dying. To you, it may be a game, but for me and my people, it is our home. And even though everything is a lie, I want them to live in the best conditions for the garden to return to what it once was. I want to do everything possible to avoid the inevitable. Now that you know, you accept the deal. Nulla wants to destroy everything, but is accepting Septem's deal the right thing to do? It doesn't seem so bad as you thought. It was just a bit maladaptive. After all, he does what he believes is right, always following etiquette and rules because that's all he knows. But on the other hand, oh, okay. Now we can do the thing. Okay, I wanna see what happens here. Reject and summon Raphael. You prepare to say his name, praying to every kind of deity that this works. Well, if not, Septem will kill you. I want an audience with Raphael. Septem falls to the floor, as if an invisible weight fell on top of him when pronouncing the name of his counterpart. And you stay there, waiting for something to happen. But his body doesn't react. You crouch down to get a better look, to confirm whether you killed him or something else is happening. In progress of elaboration, you have to wait a bit to have this date. Oh! Interesting. So the game just ends there. Okay. Cool. This one, he just decapitates me, I assume. He just decapitates me here. Decline? Okay, I'm gonna see anyways. Ha! Septem doesn't hesitate for a single second before making your head explode. Yep, I expected that. That's so funny. Okay, accept. I accept. Septem extends his hand to you, and you take it firmly. You feel electricity is running through your body, and Septem's smile grows bigger with each passing second. I'll start the preparations. After that, Septem teleports you to your room to end the day. As you settle into bed, he tells you that tomorrow you'll dine without his company until dinner. As he leaves the room without further explanation, politely saying goodbye to you. You close your eyes, hoping to fall asleep instantly, but it takes you a while. You see a figure appear in the darkness. When you focus your eyes on the figure, it vanishes. The shock makes you fall to the ground. Hello, Soggy. I see that you've made a decision. There's no point in insisting any further. I suppose Septem's ideology has always been the right one, and our plan is the most selfish and easiest to execute. Who are you? Why do you speak to me? You hear a dry laugh. What, can't mother have a conversation with her child? I am the mother of your puppet, the first puppet made from my flesh and fragments of Nulla's soul to be able to contain you. And likewise, I am the mother of the garden. I can only communicate with Nulla thanks to the stupid laws decreed by the Creator. So the only communication I have with the outside is with Nulla, and no, he's not very open to hearing other solutions now that you're here. But I can reach you, thanks to the puppet, and with you here, out of Nulla's reach, I can get what I want without harming anyone within the garden. If you get the chance, tell Septem to let me go. If you speak with Septem, perhaps he can come up with something to get me out of this damnation. Have you been condemned? Yes, it was the Creator, or Father, whichever you call him here. He and I were equal, both omnipresent deities created by a being from a higher plane. Although it's not worth discussing this being, since no one here can lay hands on him, as is the case with you, Soggy. What happened was that the Creator, seeing my history, deemed me dangerous to the inhabitants of the garden for having opened my Nulla's eyes in the times past. Therefore, he condemned me to be segregated and to sustain the garden with my body. I both love and hate the garden. I'm alive because of it. I have a connection with every entity in the garden, each and every one. I feel everything from 1 to 7. I feel their agony. I make placebos. I bring humans with Nulla's help, all to avoid feeling their collective pain, even if it means breaking my physical body over and over again. It's useless. I can't get out of here. I can't protect my children. I can't even have a conversation with them. And yet, I know them like the back of my hand. I know Dway's worries. I know Tria's angers, Kinnick's loneliness. And I know how broken Septem is. I can feel and hear their prayers, desperately begging their father to come back and fix everything. But he is not going to come. He's too proud for that. And honestly, he doesn't care. Septem is just one among many. Mother sighs heavily and her aura shifts. I have no problem letting the garden keep living. But my individuality, my being, my omnipresence can no longer endure. So please, tell Septem to strip me of my individuality, to leave my body in the void, eternally in an endless cycle of destruction and regeneration. I know my body and essence must be present, but my individuality is not necessary. I know Septem can do something now that he has you here. I trust he can fix it. Now that he has new eyes that are not tied to the Creator. They could heal and eliminate all of the Creator's curses. And if you get the chance, I want you to break the eyes of each of the symbols, including Septem's. I won't risk that bastard noticing the change of command, because I don't know how he might react. Mother doesn't know what she's saying. It's impossible to get rid of him. I doubt he'll let them live in peace if they change command. That really is like declaring war on that puppet that calls itself Creator. He's an idiot. The only way to end this collective agony is the total destruction of everything. Otherwise, I'll keep being recycled until whoever controls the Creator gets bored. And this world will be completely abandoned when whoever controls the Creator gets tired of it, condemned to eternal darkness forever. You're lucky that entity hasn't gone bored yet. If it weren't so, you wouldn't even be here. Oh, my apologies. I didn't greet you. Hola, Carino. Who is this? I see that you still can't let me go. Not even on this game route. Adorable. Unfortunately, I can't enter Septem's temple. I'm not allowed to do that unless your eyes are on me at the edge of his domain. If you could leave me here, reach the edge of the domain. Oh my gosh, what is happening? I miss you? Aw, I miss you a lot too, but I must take my leave. Good night, Carino. Something prevents you from staying in the dream. It's Septem's voice, heard in the distance. You open your eyes abruptly, searching for the cause of the near mini heart attack you're experiencing. Septem is nowhere to be found in your room. It must have been part of the dream. It's time for the puppet to go eat. Or perhaps not. You struggle to get up. It seems you haven't rested at all. You walk through the corridors like a robot, knowing exactly where the dining hall is. Upon arrival, the dishes appear in a blink of an eye. Okay, I'm going to pause here for today. I think the next video is where we get to see how Nulla kind of factors into this, because I still think that this is a dual route that Nulla and Septem both inhabit. I'm very curious how this all kind of plays out in the end. Very interesting so far. So yeah, I'm gonna stop here and yeah, adios.